Well met, Captain. What do you need? Why, from the yoke of corporate tyranny. It's what all us iconoclasts strive for, with Graham at the helm. We want unfettered freedom, not the lies that MSI tries to sell in Stellar Bay. True escape from all rules and constraints. You want to know more? Listen to Graham's broadcasts. He's been talking up a storm, working to elevate the minds of all the corporate drones in this colony, getting them to rise up. It is. Just look at what a paradise Amber Heights is. We could take this world... No. Galaxy-wide.
Only the vastly ignorant, such as one who has never even seen a picture of Byzantium, could call this a paradise.
I've heard of that place. Graham once said the folks who live there are bound by chains they themselves bought. Sounds awful. You here to join the iconoclasts? Help us free this world? Yeah, to Amber Heights, anyway. Only got here a few weeks ago. Was living in Stellar Bay before then. But I can't tell you how great it is to finally be free of them walls. Screw safe. I've had enough of playing it safe to last me a dozen lifetimes. A body's not meant to live such a guarded life. Everybody needs a little danger and excitement. Something to live for. That's what you get outside the walls. And if you're lucky, you find a cause worth bleeding for.
Oh yeah, this guy's gonna bleed out here all right.
If I do, it'll have been my choice, damn it. The iconoclast taught me that it's okay to be free to make mistakes. Sorry about that. It stems from some, family trauma. I don't want to talk about that, though.
All I'm saying is it ain't worth it. It's gonna taste like sulfur all the same.
Nuh-uh. Taro's got that sweet blood.
So? You gotta boil it or you'll get sick. Then all that sweetness takes to the air anyhow.
Nah, don't boil it. We're gonna get sick all the same. Might as well enjoy it.
Don't boil. Do you want the runs?
Better than tasting sulfur and dirt every damn day.
I ought to mention, the iconoclasts are loyal folk. Treat them right, they'll do the same. Turn on them, they'll open fire without a second thought.
Damned philosophists.
Oh, you're back. Please tell me you found my baby boy. Where is he? Where's my little Tucker? No, that can't be true. Not my little boy, not my baby. Wait, are you sure it wasn't someone else? Maybe my little boy's all right. How could you know it was him? That's Tucker's ring. His daddy gave it to him and he never took it off since. How did you... No, no, it can't be. He's not dead, not my child, not my sweet Tucker. I promise I always look out for him. Take the money. Just please leave me to grieve.
this. Just let us down from here. You hear me? Covering you! Look! I didn't know myself.
As bystanders, this may not be.
I smell blood!
I smite you in the name of the law!
Perfection!
A vicar, huh? You a true believer, or do you just like the tithes?
Why, that's borderline offensive, Ms. Ramnareem Wentworth. Of course I believe. The tithes are merely a well-earned bonus.
I met another believer once. Pushy type. He thought he'd been left behind for a reason. Thought he'd find some kind of cosmic truth in the wilderness. Got himself infected by a mantis and drowned in a sulfur pool. Some truth.
Can't get more brutally true than survival of the fittest. But don't mistake us all for blind fools. Intellect plays a large part in who stays among the living.
Glad to hear it.
You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts.
Sebastian, you ever get your hands on those pheromone sacs? Manipillars ain't gonna hunt themselves, you know.
I must have hunted a dozen, but I couldn't find a single sack on any of them. Must be looking in the wrong place.
Manipillars ain't got pheromone sacs. I just told him that so he'd stop asking me for advice.
At least I'm getting a good haul of claws in the process. You're in good hands, traveling with Monarch's top merc. Still, if you want any rat glands or manticlaws, I've got you covered.
Looks like they were ambushed.
We ought to be quick about this.
Sometimes violence is the only way!
Hear that? Come out and play! You hiding?
Covering you!
By the law, we are unstoppable. We survived! There's nothing that can kill us in this architect-forsaken land.
among the rocks. I am a storm!
We were destined to prevail.
Poor Braxton.
I don't want to think about it.
Eaten by cannibals? What a way to go.
I put up with the constant stink of fish because I don't want to think about what's outside those walls.
I know. Just imagine if they fell. It'd be Amber Heights all over again.
That's it. You owe me your month's ration of Debilorol.
Wouldn't mind smelling like Saltuna if we could sell more.
You ever been off Monarch, Nyoka? Before you met the captain, I mean.
Nah, I mostly just drank and hunted. Soon as you stop to dream of other things, that'll be the day something sneaks up and eats you.
Don't fret. I'm watching your back now. If anything tries to eat us, I'll give it a mighty whack on the nose.
Well, I'll be damned. You watch my back, I'll watch yours. What was it like in Edgewater? I hear you workers were on the clock every available moment.
We always got 8 hours a day for sleeping. Just not always consecutive.
My condolences. I appreciate consistent wages like any other sane person, but that still sounds awful. At least Sanjar gives his folks weekends.
Weekends?
Hands of the void. I used to drop by the bar in Stellar Bay to knock a few back with the folks who had Saturdays off.
Don't know what I'd have done with that much time. I was always behind schedule anyhow.
Knowing you, you'd sit and be alone with your thoughts.
Hey there! Thanks again for getting me away from those marauders. You want to buy something? Oh, it's nothing out of the ordinary, really. I was on my way to Fallbrook and got jumped by insane, bloodthirsty cannibals. It happens. No, don't be absurd. I'm based out of Stellar Bay, but I cater to our more, trailblazing clientele. Hey, life's too short to be worried about danger this and careful that. I'd rather just do my job and try and enjoy it.
Time for a round of whist. Or a round of whiskey. Or both.
I don't like the way folks are looking at me, Captain. Like I'm a sandwich. Maybe I could stand a little closer to you.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your cabin, a replacement key costs 50 bits. Guess it's true. Fallbrook really is the best-kept secret in all of Monarch, excepting the Borst Factory's secret ingredient. We're a leisurely stopover for the more adventurous spacefaring traveler. Understand? Swell. We like quick-on-the-draw types like you. Saloon is straight back and to the right. Once you're feeling sated, you're welcome to a private cabin. Only $250 a night. Ms. Malin can let you one if you're interested. She's the one who runs this racket. I am here to anticipate and facilitate your needs, patron. No reservation, no problem. Day trippers are always welcome in our saloon. Straight back and to the right. If you hit the falls, you've gone too far. Check in with Ms. Malin. She'll set you straight. You're looking for Ms. Malin. On an errand for the boss lady? That sounds ominous. Yeah. Ms. Malin won't like that a whit. She's not but just down the way. A 10 to 1 says she's either pouring drinks or skinning a sprat in the saloon. Word to the wise, Ms. Malin don't take kindly to interlopers. When I said sprat, I didn't mean the sort with whiskers and a tail.
I'll thank you to check your weapons at the door.
What are you looking at?
Ain't in the mood to chat.
For the price, I expected a larger cot. Booze like this leads to two things. Bumping uglies and brawling.
Only thing worse than the swill they're selling is the service.
Want to make a run with me to Stella Bay? Boss lady told me to take the night off.
No, I'm beat. Just got back from delivering to that house with a strange family.
The ones that always smell like raw meat and got splotches of blood on them?
Yep. Oddest thing. They started ordering cans of Borstwurst, but only if they come from the C&P factory.
Makes you wonder what the secret ingredient is.
My dry goods come 75% guaranteed mold-free. Was that 75% mold-free? No rubbernecking. Make a buy or move on.
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence, criminal activity, or dullness of mind. Some people, but no one in this office, I assure you, might call it stupidity. So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. Plenty. As my boss likes to say, there's a policy for every situation and an exclusion for every policy. We've insured unusually expressive eyebrows, outrageous statements, disastrous marriages. Those are mostly for top-rungers in Byzantium who have a lot of social and financial capital wrapped up in their marriage contracts. There's one for your beloved eloping with your sibling, your beloved eloping with their sibling, scandalous rumors forcing you apart, the revelation of a secret love child. We try to cover every possible hazard to domestic bliss. That policy is almost exclusively for our corporate clientele. In the unlikely event they make a claim about a product that turns out to be less than accurate, they need some kind of protection against the damage to their sales and reputation. Usually character actors, or corporate execs with menacing stares. One thing's for sure, you won't find better policy protection against sudden lunar implosions anywhere in Halcyon. We're not on Monarch. For all practical and tax-related purposes, this office is an official enclave of Byzantium. Legally speaking, corporations are not allowed to operate on Monarch, but financially speaking, there are certain costs to running a business from within Byzantium's walls. So while our official address is in the city, and while our office here is technically an extension of that address, we found it more expedient to conduct our key operations here. So we can... what's the phrase? Pass savings to the consumer, of course. Oh, it's certainly not about what I say. That's all down to our legal team and our CFO.
Take a gander at that mug. I ain't ever seen someone so adept-looking my whole life.
Watch yourself, Captain. This guy's got eyes like a sprat set on stealing your dinner.
That's awfully kind of you, mister.
Oh, now, come on. All I mean is, well, rather that, you don't seem like the usual pigeons we pluck. No offense, of course, if you are a Byzantium gold-blood. Say, I'd like to do you a favor. Might I interest you in a surefire scheme? Wink, wink. I certainly hope you're not insinuating the problem is me. I mean, that would be preposterous. I never do anything under the table. That, Miss Malin ain't aware of. If there's any issue, really, you should talk to her. She's straight back in Malin's House of Hospitality. Oh, right. Well, I mean, if you're interested. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats. See? I know a fellow genius when I clap eyes on him. Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit. Th 35%? Are you out of your gourd? If I wasn't recovering from a bout of Morgellons, I wouldn't stand for this. But things are what they are, so I'll agree to it. But not 0.5% more. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Any trail ought to start there. When you've got the goods, I'll be here.
You don't look like a smuggler nor a dandy. Catherine sends you back here? On second thought, it's best if I don't know. What's your order? No, I don't have any... If it's only a drink you're after, the full bar's upstairs. This here's the ante up, where you place your bets. Toss ball, autoloader races, card games, you name it. I ain't picky. And neither is Catherine. We'll both break your legs if you lose, then shirk on paying.
Uh-huh. You blind, little bird? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Oh, she just comes and says whatever's on her mind, huh?
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise. I'll be sure to remember that, little bird. Want to tell me what you need? Well, I'm half listening. Funny, you don't look like one of Lilia's. Sure sound the part, though. Good of you to finally haul your ass over here. I wired for backup weeks ago. Got something that's gonna require special extraction from Cascadia. Found it on a corpse, huh? If you killed Lilia's agent, you get to explain it to her, not me. Well, shit. I knew he'd come to a bad end one day. Still, no time for weeping and wailing. We've got a metric fuck-ton of bits worth of salvage just waiting for extraction. So you got a brain on them shoulders. Excellent. Makes my life a world easier. To extract the gas, you'll need to siphon it from the lab in Cascadia into one of your ship's fuel tanks. Totally safe. Do I look like one of them egghead science types? All I know is that labs use it to create plants and livestock out of local species. But it's a controlled commodity, available only to the board, so it is of high value on the dark market. Meaning safe for me and my crew, seeing as it ain't us undertaking the risk. I do like your gumption, but let's not be hasty. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with mantis. You gotta fight through or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system?
And will again. We ought to be taking any opportunity we get to bury those critters in lead.
Direct and aggressive. I always did like your sensibilities. You know when to strike and when to wait. Shame what came of your crew.
Crews are for ships. They were a family.
Close enough. Now, after you clear the manti nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is to get the gas flowing into the fuel system. The task will require someone with technical skills. Or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though, unless you want to get dead.
Load vapors into a liquid propellant tank? I think I know how to do that. No, I can do that. I think. Yes. Mostly? Definitely.
Dandy. Did I mention the gas is of an extremely volatile nature? Handle it with the utmost of care. Once you've got our goods, take them to the groundbreaker. Lilia's fencers ought to handle the rest of it. I've marked the coordinates for you to the lab in Cascadia. On the terminal, use the passcode you got from Stellar Bay to get in. But before you make your run, I could use a heavy helping hand regarding a local issue. For a fine fee, of course. Good. This particular matter of opportunity has been eating at me for a while now. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid fucker who's gonna get it for me. Kill him, run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows resistance to me is costly and futile. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production lines ought to make do. Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. I don't give a whit about the method or the means, just the end. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the Dry Goods and Sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be.
I think I'll go for a swim.
Folks I never met before are my most favorite kind. So, what's your story? Let me just stop you right there, stranger. My question, it's not one I really want an answer to. Not unless it accompanies some extra bits. Understand? More than you can afford at this time. Your eyes do not deceive you. This bar serves the sweetest firewater in all of Fallbrook. I got some snacks on offer too from time to time. If you're asking if it's Sublight owned, then yes. If you're asking if we give discounts to Sublight employees, then the answer is not only no, but doubly no. Ms. Malin built the bar, the saloon, and the town to boot. If you got business with Sublight, I suggest you follow up with her.
Catherine's great, ain't she? She'll pull you out of the sulfur, so long as you don't mind being in her debt.
You know how there's folk who are all crusty outside, but warm and squishy inside? I'm pretty sure she's crust all the way through.
Always imagined Fallbrook would be... cleaner, fancier, stocked with better booze.
Cheaper. I've emptied 14-bit carts in the last 2 hours.
That's because you've got a terrible tell. Whenever you're lying, your right eye twitches like mad.
It most certainly does not.
I wouldn't steer you wrong, friend. See? There it goes again.
Can I help you? Don't think we've spoken before. I would remember. You look, well, I wouldn't forget what you're wearing, no. Most of the freshies spend their first day in the saloon. Fresh to Fallbrook, I mean. Me? I've been here going on 3 days now. I'm real friendly. Figure I've talked up everyone in town by now. But not you yet. Every day I've been here has been my lucky day. Never won so much in my whole life. Aside from a close call during my wilderness hike, it's been a grand adventure. I'm dreadful blessed that Captain Criley hired me onto the crew. You heard that right. Wilderness almost got me pushing up daisies. If I wasn't so fleet-footed, I never would have escaped them Raptidons, then Marauders, and then that Mantiqueen alive. To outrun him, I had to ditch my bag. All the bit cards from my winnings were weighing it down. A shame, 'cause it was my favorite gun tote. You wouldn't have heard of them. They're just a small pot of smugglers. Kept getting their spoils stolen when they went to fence them. So they hired on a merc. They didn't mind my being so talkative, or them being my first protection gig. Captain Criley, he does ask me to shut it sometimes. In fact, I probably shouldn't be flapping my gums about his crew at all. Well, Captain Criley wanted to take a pit stop. I'm the hired security, see? They pay me to guard the cargo, but right now the hull's empty. It's my first shore leave with the crew, and my maiden voyage before that. I can tell you it's been a real hoot. Captain warned us to take care around Devil's Peak. The bigger beasties tend to roam the slopes there. Mid-morning, I thought I'd try Fallbrook's self-guided wilderness hike, the one that leads up around the mountain. Safe enough, else they wouldn't advertise, right? Wrong. Scarcely made it back in one piece. Look for the horns and you can't miss it. Even I saw them when we flew overhead. Massive curved stone peaks if you want to get technical. They're a part of the mountain terrain. Right then. Very well. Then I'd like to answer it. If I can, that is. Right then.
you're feeling like the civilized type, the waterfall's a good spot to wash your clothes.
Ain't looking for trouble, no.
My bet's on citation in the autoloader races.
Not now, you'll jinx my luck.